We're going towards Arezzo today through Perugia. We are now close to Amandola. Then we will continue our trip towards the north of Italy, like Bologna, and then turning right or east towards Slovenia, and then we'll see if it's going to be Croatia, Serbia, or Hungary and Romania. It is 12 minutes past 6 in the morning. I've got my map on. Right there. And we are ready to go. Yesterday I started reading this a Twist of the Wrist book. I guess it's mostly targeted at sport bikes and sport bike riders, but maybe the principles apply. I'm trying to wrap my head around some of the things he says. Some of them make sense and others don't to me. What he would call a survival response is this letting go of the gas in curves. This idea that if something dangerous were to happen, like sliding or going too wide, or there's an obstacle or a bump in the road or something like that, letting go of the throttle helps. And he says it doesn't. It does the absolute opposite. And you're always supposed to have smooth on-off acceleration, including through curves and including, those moments where you think something's going to happen. Because if you think something's going to happen and your instinct kicks in, you're only going to make it worse. Your instinct doesn't really help in that particular moment. It kind of makes sense. I've seen how even this type of smaller bike destabilizes if you let go of the throttle during a curve. Like the whole position changes. It tends to go wide. It tends to stand up in a way. So of course I'm gonna try and stay on that line, but he says the line is less important. It's mostly this smooth on-off action of the throttle that's important, and that is what gives you the ideal line. You shouldn't try to follow an ideal line and adjust the throttle action to it, but the other way around. Adjust the throttle so that it's as smooth as possible, and then you get the ideal line. Then he mentioned something else, that accelerating raises the seat, raises the back up, which doesn't make sense to me. I asked Ada, I kept accelerating through on a straight line, and she said actually it doesn't, it goes down when you accelerate. And that makes sense to me, right? With the springs and everything, the rear suspension is supposed to compress when you accelerate, and the whole thing goes down, the seat goes down, right? I don't know if it's on this type of bike that's taller. I mean, I'm definitely taller than sport bikes, or if it happens for other bikes as well, and maybe I just didn't get something. But he says, like, if you want to test that theory, just stop against a wall with the front wheel and then accelerate. And yes, if you have the front brake applied and you accelerate, it's an awkward type of thing to do with your right hand. But if you do that, then yes, the seat does rise up. But it doesn't seem to do that when you're already rolling down the street and accelerating. So today I'm paying a lot more attention to my throttle on-off wrist motion. I'm gonna try and practice this idea that in the curves it's supposed to be as smooth as possible. Crossing the main square, I think, in Amandola. Oh, there's a bench right here where I had my tuna panini yesterday. Goodbye Amandola. Hello, things to come. Get out of the road. I've noticed my nose also freezing when I have the visor up in the morning. And the nose is a vital organ. I use it for many things. Mostly smelling, but other stuff as well. Like I'll unlock my phone if my hands are busy. You gotta protect your nose, especially in my case. There's such a large surface area. Because I think I also use it for heat exchange. You know, like the elephant's ears work. We're off to the side. We took a secondary, well, I call them secondary. These might be tertiary or tertiary. Is that a word? Roads. This thing is telling me to go up, but we have to figure out if we want to do that. I have to consult with the other team member. We've decided to try it, meaning test this road. We both agree that this one is definitely the more beautiful road, but there is no way we can adjust Ada's chain, and it is slack again, which means I think we need to take out a link from her chain. But it is Sunday, so we couldn't find. Right, and I can pull the rear axle even further back to stretch the chain a little bit more. Maybe we should have done that last evening, because I think we could have gotten a hold of the tools. That's why we're a little bit worried that these mountain roads might put a bit of strain on the chain. Put strain on the chain, man. Put strain on the chain. A troznit?
Da, nu știu, cred că nu a picat bine pe alea.
Ok, atunci e nasol. Ne întoarcem și mergem pe variantele cele mai simple. Let's see if I can identify the source of this rattle I keep hearing on Ada's bike. With the sprocket cover off, what I can see apart from all the grime and dirt is I think this sprocket is still in good shape. Is it? Maybe some of the teeth are beginning to wear unevenly a bit. Is it supposed to do that? I'm not sure. Have to look it up online. Well, it's all part of the adventure, isn't it? This is a mighty fine road as well. So we had to change our plans for today. We're not going to be taking any hidden away tiny little mountain roads like we planned this morning, because it's just way too dangerous. We have 200 kilometers to our destination, and that chain is not ready to take on more difficult roads for sure. And we just said, yeah, we'll test it tomorrow, without realizing that we don't have the tools to adjust it if it's bad. And it is bad. I can see the chain going up and down a lot, even when she's riding. So I think that's a dangerous way to ride. So we're trying to put as little strain on it as possible, but we're keeping to larger roads so that we are, you know, closer to civilization if anything happens. Right, so we found the source of the issue. It's not just that this chain is too slack again, which means I think we need to take a link off. It's that when it hits the sprocket, it makes a bit of a sound sometimes. It like catches on the sprocket teeth and it makes a little bit of a sound. And we've already adjusted this almost to the very end. We've pulled the axle back as far as possible. So I think we need to stop by a mechanic's shop and just get a link out of this chain. Ada gets to apply some of the principles I talked about earlier. Smooth throttle operation, that helps the chain, you know? We're trying not to jerk. We're trying not to pull a chain. This tests our ability to be flexible, especially my ability to be flexible. Because usually if I decide on a route, my mind goes into this mode where I feel like I'm failing if I'm not following the exact route that I initially plotted. It feels to me like a failure if I have to change plans, which is definitely not rational thinking. It's not a functional way to think and to behave. It's a rigid way of thinking. Things have to be a certain way. So I'm trying to adjust to the reality of today. Look at this place. This is where the festivities happen, where everyone gathers up and they do stuff. This is such a nice square, but what I also wanted to show you is these buildings. I don't know if they've been affected by the earthquake or what happened here, but they are held in place with string. See, there's these huge posts, and then there's this steel cable all around the building. This is a wide angle camera, so this changes perspective also. But that wall up there is bulging towards the outside. It's leaning over to the outside. So, yeah, these are some of the issues they're trying to fix, I guess. This must have been the most tunnels I've been in a single day. That was a record. We just passed from the Marche region to the Umbria region. The coffee selection, the options for coffee at McDonald's were ridiculous. There was like so many options. I've never seen that before. Makes sense in Italy, I guess. We got the cappuccino, and the macchiato, which came like this. There's like an espresso here and the milk there. Cool. That was nice. Miss Agriculture. That's what that was. We made it to our room in Arezzo. It's like one of those super standard hotel rooms, but it's nice and clean. We got an amazing view of the terrace here. It's actually not bad. And it's got a pretty cool bathroom as well. Bathtub.
We were hungry. What? We are in Arezzo now.
Yes, we made it. It's been a short enough trip. I was worried about Ada's chain for a bit.
I was worried about
We were
the
both
chain.
worried about the chain. You were riding it, but I could hear it, the sound it was making. And yeah, 220 kilometers. Pretty uneventful ride, all in all.
I got stung by a bee or a wasp or something. Over here. I can't really show you where.
She got stung by a bee on her butt. We're gonna chill in a hotel here for a bit and look for a mechanic tomorrow.
Because today is Sunday.
Yeah.
And Sunday everything is closed.
Except for McDonald's, where we spent the last hour in an air-conditioned, highly air-conditioned room. Yeah, second McDonald's in Italy. Both of them on the same day. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.